Well, welcome to the channel, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that you've taken the time to do that. We've been looking at evil or some personality disorders that are popping up in the Bible, or traits of them. It's been interesting, and it's been quite amazing, isn't it, how much of the Bible shares about it. I hope you're enjoying these videos. There's a lot of people that are helping identify narcissism now and how it disintegrates relationships, and what the answers are to getting out of that, and what is good for people in their relationships to do, to be able to recognize and not be caught in narcissism. We left off in verse 10, where we traveled through from verse 7. I think you can look that up in the last talk. And I do appreciate you coming by to the Pro Bricky exclusive channel and the Pro Theologist channel if you're more interested in the religious side of things. This is just the wisdom of the ancient, which is absolutely amazing and wonderful to help you to go through life in a much safer and wiser way if you're willing to do the work. It's a lot of work to understand the scriptures, but once you get it, it's really worth it. If you punish a mocker, okay, and a lot of times these mockers, not the coffee, where you go in and you say, can I have a mocha? There's a mocker in Australia. I had this girlfriend once, forget her name now, I think it was Tristan, someone, and she liked these mockers, and I'd never heard it before, and I couldn't handle it. I've just gone, what's a mocker? And yeah, we had some fun. But she liked a mocker. But there are mockers, and they're covert. They do try and undermine your relationships. They are selfish. They're usually self-centered, and they usually run on low self-esteem, and that's why people mock. And it says, if you punish a mocker, the simple-minded become wise. And this is where a lot of us need to understand. If you're in a relationship and the person that you're with is starting to become single-minded, you can help that person to become wise by pulling back. Or first confront the issue. If they're not going to deal with the issue, then you pull back. Pull your energy back, saying, look, no, hang on, no. I'm not in a relationship where you're going to start now to manifest mockery towards the relationship. Okay? A lot of mockery is covert. They're covertly undermining the relationship. They're mocking emotionally, spiritually, physically. They'll withdraw sex and things and attention. I've had girlfriends where they lay in bed with their back to you. Now, it's not a matter of sleeping on a preferred side, because I've tried swapping sides and just to suss it out, and you'll find that they just sleep with their back to you. Now, that's telling you something about unresolved. They'll be intimate with you and have fun with you and all of that, but then they'll sleep with their back to you, these particular kinds, and it's really bizarre. I'm not saying it's a major issue, but what I've found out about it is it's a physical display of unresolved, and the unresolved may not be towards you. So you might want to think about that a bit. But if you do bring to the attention of the covert narcissist things that you think are a mockery, and you can't be petty, because pettiness is really hard to deal with. But if there's things in the relationship where there's a lack of performance, that's mocking. It's mocking you, and it's mocking the relationship, because it's making a display of the fact that you're unaware. Okay, mockery really does come in covert signs. It does come in overt demonstrations as well, where you might be out and they're just making fun and jokes with you. You've got to stop that straight away. It's demeaning, it's belittling, and I've brought up the word mockery. It's making a mockery of you, it's ridiculing you, it's derision, it's jeering, sneering, contempt, scorn, scoffing, it's joking. See, joking sounds like it's funny, but sometimes it's not. It's a covert form of derision. They're trying to cause derision in your mind to give them a higher sense of self-worth, to undo their insecurities, bring you down to their level so they don't feel so alone there in their insecurities. It's teasing, taunting, sarcasm's the big one, dragging, chasing, and jibing. It's actually making a laughing stock of your intelligence and caricature. These are the opposites. These are similar words, but again, here's the magic word. Look, it's disintegrative. And what's the devalue stage? Disintegrative. It's interfering. Okay? So, the Bible's so deep, and you have to get deep. You have to dig deep to get the understanding. And you can bring chastisement to the mocker, to the one that's undermining the relationship. And the way you do this is by confronting the issue. Hey, look, you didn't turn up on time. I don't like that. Are we having an exclusive relationship here, or is this just some kind of a joke? Which is what I've said, and it usually works. If they do it again, hey, look, you've turned up late again. I got better things to do. I'll catch you later. That's it. You've got to be strong. You've got to be prepared to stand alone if you have to, but you do not let people in your life that are going to make a mockery of you. Okay, because the Bible tells you why. They're simple-minded. They're fools. If they're prepared to learn from what you're trying to show them, then they can become wise. But I've split up with girls that knew what the problem was, and they had no idea of how to fix it, which they remained in the category, as far as my life was concerned, as a fool. You see, the narcissists, the covert narcissists, the people with narcissistic traits, they start well, but then these character traits begin to come out. Mockery, derision, sneering, and they're covert. They're not necessarily in your face, turning up late, not texting back over and over again. Don't tolerate it. Just say, hang on a sec. This is a mockery. This is a mockery of what this relationship's supposed to be. It's a mockery of my standards. It's not how I'm prepared to live with somebody or be with somebody. And if you want to help them to grow, and it's up to them whether they grow or not, and yourself, you remove yourself from that simple-minded approach to the relationship, because it's making a mockery and a fool of both of you and the relationship. And people will notice this. But if you instruct someone that's wise, they will become wiser. So somebody might slip into some mockery. It might be lighthearted, but still out of order. And if you say, look, I don't appreciate that kind of sense of humor, or that kind of way in which you're going about making fun of things, if they're wise, they'll listen. But if they're not, they won't. I remember a couple of girls, you're disappearing for too long, they come back, they stick around, and then they disappear again, and you just get to the point where you go, no. You're just making a mockery of the relationship, and that's it. You walk away. Other ones have triangulated relationships with their family members, and their family members are all over the relationship and controlling it and making a mockery of it. See how powerful the scripture is? And I've given tolerance to that. I've said, like, okay, let's give some credence to this. They've been aware of what the problem is. And instead of trying to bring order to it, they've worn my tolerance out. And I've had to go, look, this isn't doing my mental health too well. They usually turn around and they'll blame you for whatever the problem is, even though it has nothing to do with you. And you have to, at that point, walk away. You have to be strong. And if they're wise, they'll learn. If they're not, they'll become wiser. If they're not, they'll just become sillier. And most of them just become sillier, unfortunately. I used to notice when I used to help people out of the cults, Jehovah's Witnesses particularly, and other cults, there'd always be this spirit of mockery around wisdom. And this is how they keep you in. They keep you away from the truth. And when people have got influence over you, they can keep you away from what's best for you. They don't even know they're doing it while you're trying to get things into a place excuse me, that's benefiting everyone. They're holding back and keeping everyone in a place that's not benefiting anyone at all. I won't start the next verse because we've done 12 minutes, but we'll come back in our next talk and speak about verse 12. For now, you can make an attempt to help the person that's pulling the relationship down, be it covertly or overtly, with elements of narcissism. You can help that person to grow. You can help that person to become wiser. But if they don't accept the challenge and they're just going to make a mockery of your relationship, you have to detach. You have to confront the issue. If they're not going to rise up and become wise and they just want to remain a fool, then it's up to you what you're going to do with that. You can either live with it, or you can go, I've been duped. This person's not what they mirrored at the start. And you can get on to fix yourself, repair, and find a better way of life. And possibly a different person that will be wise. There's never any guarantee of that either. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.